Welcome everyone to my very third video. I am so excited that you decided to click on my page and get a message out of it. I hope it feeds your soul, whether it's mentally, spiritually, or physically, and even just help you encourage someone in your life that's going through a tough time, whether they're struggling with something internally or externally. I hope this message can help you encourage someone else, or even encourage you to be in the best you. So thank you. I do appreciate you for being here. My name is Ariel, and this year God's literally been like poking at me and just saying, I need you to go on your purpose walk. And that's why I decided to create my YouTube page, because this is part of my journey, a part of my purpose walk, of what I love to do: inspire, motivate, and help others be the best that they can be and grow them to be the best that they can be. So thank you. I do hope you subscribe. I do hope you share. And with that said, I wanted to get into today's message. Today's message, I really wanted to speak to you about how do you take that vision that you wrote down at the beginning of the year and manifest it into reality. How do you take that first step into being great? How do you take that first step into achieving that goal? Well, something that's personally worked for me over the years and in my life and helped me accomplish my goals and my dreams are these three things that I've always stuck to and I've always done in my life. So I hope they help you. One of the things I can tell you, the first thing is being very consistent. You have to be consistent in everything you do. You can't start a job and quit because it gets hard. You have to keep working at it. You have to keep striving towards what you want to accomplish there. Because we don't just start jobs just to be there from 9 to 5. If you are, I hope you change your attitude, and I hope you want to accomplish something at that job, whether it's getting a promotion or whether it's encouraging your coworkers, or even just being the best person that you are in your position. That is the goal. You can't, start something and not be consistent in it. You have to always work very, very hard. You can't give up when it gets hard. You can't give up when you don't see any movement. That's not how things work. When you plant a seed in the ground, that seed is in the ground for I don't know how long. Sometimes it's a couple weeks, sometimes a couple months, sometimes it's a couple years. And you have to keep watering that seed, and you have to keep fertilizing that seed, and you have to keep speaking life to that seed. And eventually, when you keep watering it and fertilizing it and speaking life to it and being very consistent in doing that, that's when you'll finally see that seed sprout and come up through the ground, through the dirt, through the mud. And it's beautiful when it sprouts. I've never seen a seed that sprouted dead. And when it sprouts, it's always green. And it's that vibrant, beautiful, light, lovely green. It's never dead, black. It's always beautiful. So you have to be consistent in what you're doing. You have to be, consistent in working towards that goal. I ran track for majority of my life. I would say all my life. And I was always consistent in going to practice. I was always consistent in trying to work as hard as I can, especially when I was at practice. And so it can manifest and come out when the actual meet came up. You can't sit here and practice one day and think you're gonna be the next Miriam Jones or Usain Bolt. That's just not how it works. You have to be consistent in working hard and running and moving towards that goal so it can manifest. Which brings me to my next topic, which is being obedient. You have to be obedient in your consistency. Again, you cannot quit when it gets hard. You cannot give up when you don't see movement. You cannot stop because it's not on your timeline. You have to be obedient. Be obedient in your consistency. You have to tell yourself every day, even though you don't like getting up at a certain time, get up every day. Be obedient in that. If you can be obedient in, let's just say, getting up every morning at 7 a.m. and looking yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, you're going to be great today. You're going to accomplish something today. And have that mindset every day, trust me, eventually your dream and what you've been speaking over your life will come to pass. But if you're not obedient in it, you're wasting time. You're just wasting time. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't start something and stop it. That's just not how it works. You're never going to accomplish anything if you start and stop. And then you look at everybody else in the world and you're wondering why, oh, they have what they have. But have you ever realized that those people were very consistent and very obedient to their goal and their vision? Just because it got hard, they didn't stop. Just because they had a roadblock, they didn't stop. Just because somebody told them no, or you're never gonna do that, or that's impossible, or you're just crazy, does not mean they gave up. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't give up. I think it took him about 30 years to get to where he's at. Rest his soul. But he created something that was innovative. And it didn't come overnight. It took time. It took obedience. It took consistency into just working and loving and ministering and being and just being very obedient in his vision and his goal. And that's what he did. So that's what you have to do. You have to be consistent in your work ethic. You have to be very obedient to your work ethics. I mean, if your friends are telling you to come out at night and it does not align up with your vision or your goal, because you know you have to get up and go to work the next day and be your very best. Or you know, oh, if I go out tonight, stay out pretty late, I'm going to probably be sluggish in practice tomorrow. Or you know that if you have a very important meeting, you should stay in and practice. Be obedient to it. Don't make it second, make it first. Don't give up on that dream. And that brings me to my third point. You have to have faith. You have to have strong faith that your dreams and your visions will eventually come to pass. You can't sit here and just think that it's never going to come true, and you can't speak death over it, like, oh, well, I hope so, I hope it happens, well, if it doesn't, you have to stay faithful in it. You have to be like, no, I am going to be the best, the next Kobe Bryant, I am going to be the next Obama, I am going to be the next, Steve Jobs. And you have to speak life over that, and you have to be faithful in your walk towards it. And you can't let people deter you, and you can't let people bring you down at any moment. I mean, when God puts a desire on your heart, a true desire on your heart, you have to be faithful that it's going to come to pass, no matter how much time passes. Sometimes it's gonna be quicker than you think. Sometimes it takes about a couple of months, maybe a couple weeks. Sometimes it takes a couple of years. But you don't just give up because it doesn't show up right away for you. You have to keep believing and having that faith that it's going to come to pass. And when you have that faith that it's going to come to pass, and you have that consistency, and you have that obedience to your dream and your goal that you have, and you know that God put on your heart that it's going to come to pass, trust me, God will make a way. It's not your way, it's His way. And you have to always believe that, and you have to always stay faithful in that God knows what's best. Yeah, there's going to be some bumps in the road. Yeah, it's going to get hard. Yeah, you're going to cry. You're going to get mad and angry. But at the end of the day, if you stay faithful to it and you keep believing that it's going to transpire, and you stay consistent in working towards it, trust me, God will make a way. He does not put a desire on your heart that he does not intend to come to pass in your life. If God put a desire on your heart, that means he wants it to come to pass. That means he wants it to manifest in your life. That's the God we serve. He is an awesome God, a loving God, and a loving Father. And I hope you really believe that, because I know I do. Every heart desire that he put on me has always come to pass. Not the way I thought it was gonna come. Definitely not the way. And it definitely, it was a hard, rugged path. But eventually they have come to pass. And eventually my goals and my desires have manifested. And when they do manifest, that does not mean you stop. Then you have to write down more visions and more goals. And you'll get other heart desires. And that's when the cycle repeats itself again. All right, I got a new heart desire. God's already manifested this one. Now it's time for the next level. But God can't give you the next level that you want if you're not consistent in your walk and you're going towards your dream, if you're not obedient towards it and obedient towards him, and if you're not faithful. Faith the size of a mustard seed will grow to a big sequoia tree. Trust me, I know. But you have to, again, have that faith. Again, like they always say, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. So don't worry about where you're going to get the finances. Don't worry about how is it going to come. You just have to do the work, show up and be obedient, and stay faithful. So I hope this message helped you in some type of way today. And I hope it encouraged you a little to start taking those steps towards manifesting your dreams into reality. And if you already had this work ethic, or you already know this, I hope you can share this so it can help someone that you know that's going through a tough time or struggling with an issue in their life, so it can help them accomplish their goals and their visions. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And until next time, just know that God loved you, and so do I. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Bye.